Have you ever felt it? That quiet, creeping realization that the world is getting just a little bit heavier. Here's the story of Jane.
For Jane, it wasn't a sudden event. It wasn't a doctor's diagnosis or a single, dramatic fall. It was a slow, quiet, fading, a gradual turning down of the volume on her own life. It began in her garden, the one sacred space she had cultivated for over 40 years. It was her sanctuary, her canvas, a riot of zinnias and heirloom tomatoes that were the envy of the neighborhood. She knew the language of the soil, the rhythm of the seasons. But one Tuesday morning in late May, as she knelt to weed a stubborn patch of crabgrass, the language became foreign. Her strength, once as reliable as the sunrise, simply wasn't there. Her legs, which had carried her through decades of planting, kneeling and rising, trembled with the new, unwelcome fatigue. Pushing herself up from the ground, a movement she had performed 1,000,000 times, became a multi-stage, strategic operation requiring a grunt and a nearby fence post for leverage. She finally stood, her breath catching in her chest, and looked at her hands. They seemed to belong to someone else, someone older, someone frail. That was the word that echoed in the quiet of her mind. Frail. It was a word she despised, and it was the first time she had ever applied it to herself. This was the subtle intrusion of age-related muscle loss, not as a medical term, but as a thief, quietly stealing the small joys that made up the architecture of her life. Jane, at 73, was a woman built of resilience and warm laughter. She was the matriarch, the one who had always hosted Thanksgiving, effortlessly hoisting a 22-pound turkey from the oven. She was the one who taught her grandkids to ride bikes, her hand steady on the back of the seat. Her husband, Tom, would always say she had a get-it-done spirit that could solve any problem. From a leaky faucet to a broken heart, her identity wasn't just in being a wife, a mother, or a grandmother. It was rooted in her capability, in her physical presence, in the lives of those she loved. But now, that foundation was eroding. The slow, creeping loss of strength, what doctors call sarcopenia, was dismantling that identity piece by piece. It wasn't just the gardening. It was the jar of pickles she couldn't open, forcing her to wait for Tom to come home. It was the hesitation she felt before picking up her youngest grandchild, a flicker of fear replacing the instinct of love. The get-it-done spirit was still there, trapped inside a body that was increasingly saying, "I can't." The daily erosion was the cruelest part. It was a relentless series of small surrenders. Each one, on its own, was insignificant, but together they formed a suffocating blanket of limitation. The world she had once moved through with unconscious ease now presented a landscape of obstacles. A high shelf, a heavy door, a long walk from the car. Each thwarted desire, each quiet no her body gave her, chipped away at her confidence. It was the frustration of knowing exactly what she wanted to do, of seeing the path forward, but feeling an invisible wall holding her back. The vibrant, capable woman in her memories felt like a stranger, a ghost from a past life, and the woman in the mirror felt like an imposter. One evening, standing in the quiet of her kitchen, the weight of it all became unbearable. She looked at that pot, a wedding gift from her mother, a vessel that had held countless stews and soups, that had warmed her family for 50 years. She used to lift it down without a second thought. Now, it might as well have been on the moon. And in that profound silence, a single, devastating thought crystallized in her mind. Sharp and cold as ice, I'm becoming a spectator in my own life, just watching from the sidelines. It was a moment of pure, undiluted reckoning, a fear not of dying, but of fading away while she was still here. But then, something shifted. In the depths of that despair, a different voice, an older voice, the one that belonged to the woman who fixed leaky faucets and broken hearts, whispered back. It was a spark of defiance. Her gaze drifted from the pot to a small, worn, wooden recipe box on the counter. Inside were her mother's recipes, written in a steady, elegant script. Her mother had lived to be 92, sharp and active until the very end. She remembered her mother's kitchen, always filled with the scent of simmering herbs, fresh fruit, and roasted vegetables. It wasn't just food. It was fuel. It was life. And a new thought, clear and determined, cut through the fog. This is not how my story ends. It wasn't a promise of a miracle. It was a decision to fight back, not with anger or frustration, but with wisdom, with nourishment, with care. The change wasn't overnight. It was a series of small, intentional choices. a different addition to her morning toast, a new kind of juice in the evening, a snack she'd overlooked for years. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the tide began to turn. The morning stiffness began to melt away a little sooner. The walk to the mailbox felt less like a chore and more like a stroll. One afternoon, her youngest grandchild ran to her, arms outstretched, and without a flicker of hesitation, Jane scooped him up, burying her face in his hair, overwhelmed by the simple, profound joy of her own strength. It wasn't the strength of her 30s, but it was her strength, reclaimed, earned, precious.
Jane's story isn't about finding a magic pill. It's about rediscovering the profound power hidden in the simple daily choices we make. It's a testament to the fact that while aging is a reality, the loss of vitality, the fading of our strength, that doesn't have to be. You might be watching this feeling that same quiet frustration Jane did. You've probably heard the usual advice. Eat more protein, lift some weights, maybe try those chalky powders that promise miracles. And that advice isn't wrong, but it's incomplete. It's missing a crucial and frankly, more delightful piece of the puzzle. What if I told you that some of the most potent allies in your fight to stay strong, active and independent are likely sitting in your fruit bowl right now? We're about to embark on a journey to uncover 5 of these powerful, natural secrets. We'll start with a foundational habit that can help soothe your body from the inside out, move through key strategies for recovery and endurance, and build towards a surprising key to unlocking new strength. But you absolutely must stay with me until the very end, because our #1 game-changing revelation is something so common, so familiar, you have probably eaten it 100 times without ever guessing the sheer power it holds for rebuilding muscle, especially after 60. It's a truth hidden in plain sight. If this is the kind of deep dive into health that empowers you, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Every piece of advice here is crafted with care for you. And just a quick important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or health regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication. Our goal is to use this knowledge to have informed, powerful conversations with the professionals who guide our health. All right, are you ready? Let's dive in and start building strength, one delicious bite at a time. Foundational habit number 5, the creamy guardian against internal rust. Let us start with something that has become a bit of a modern celebrity in the world of wellness, the avocado. We see it smashed on toast in trendy cafes, blended into green smoothies, and sliced elegantly over salads. It's famous for its heart-healthy fats, but its role as a quiet, powerful guardian for your muscles is a story that isn't told nearly often enough. Is that avocado on your toast just a fleeting food trend? Or is it one of the most intelligent foundational choices you can make to protect your body from the inside out as you age? The invisible enemy we're facing here is something called chronic low-grade inflammation. To truly grasp what this is, let's use an analogy. Imagine your body is a magnificent classic car that you've been driving for 60, 70, or even 80 years. It's a beautiful machine, full of priceless memories. Chronic inflammation is like a fine, invisible mist of salt water that is constantly settling on the engine. You don't see it day to day, but over years, it causes a slow, silent process of corrosion. A bit of rust here, a weakened wire there. It doesn't cause a sudden breakdown, but it makes the whole system less efficient, more prone to sputtering and harder to repair. In our bodies, this rust is what silently damages tissues, including our precious muscle fibers. It makes it harder for our body's natural repair crews to do their job, setting the stage for that slow, creeping weakness of sarcopenia. Many things contribute to this inflammatory state: stress, lack of sleep, processed foods, but it's a particularly persistent challenge as we mature. But this is where the humble avocado drives into the garage like a master mechanic. It's packed with monounsaturated fats, particularly oleic acid. These aren't just any fats, they are potent anti-inflammatory agents. They are the biological equivalent of a high-grade rust-inhibiting lubricant. When you consistently include these healthy fats in your diet, you are actively helping to quell that low-grade fire, protecting your muscle tissue from that slow, corrosive damage. You're not just eating, You're performing preventative maintenance on that priceless classic car. Therefore, the benefits just keep compounding. Avocados don't stop at fighting inflammation. They are also an absolute powerhouse of potassium. In fact, gram for gram, they contain significantly more potassium than the famously potassium-rich banana. Why does this matter so much for our muscles? Let's go back to our car analogy. If the muscles are the engine, then minerals like potassium and magnesium are the electrical system. They are the electrolytes that carry the signals from your brain, telling your muscles to contract and relax. Potassium is crucial for that contract signal. When you're low on potassium, those signals can get fuzzy or misfire. The result? Muscle cramps, weakness, and an unsteady feeling. Magnesium, another mineral found in abundance in avocados, works in beautiful harmony with potassium, helping the muscles to relax properly after a contraction. This duo is your internal team for preventing those painful Charlie horses in the middle of the night and supporting smooth, steady, reliable muscle function. A body with well-supported muscles is more stable, more energetic, and far less prone to the unexpected stumbles that can shake our confidence. I remember a woman named Clara, a bright-eyed 72-year-old with a contagious laugh. She shared with me that she used to be woken up by debilitating leg cramps almost every single night. It turned her nights into a source of anxiety. Her daughter, a nutritionist, didn't suggest a pill. She suggested a simple daily habit. Just half an avocado with her breakfast. Clara was skeptical, but she was also desperate. After about 2 weeks of making it her morning ritual, sometimes on a slice of whole grain toast with a sprinkle of sesame seeds, sometimes blended into a small smoothie, she noticed a profound change. She was sleeping through the night. The cramps had vanished, and her morning walks, which had started to feel like a chore, felt easier, more fluid. "It's like my body just works better," she told me, her eyes twinkling. "It's my little green miracle. And there's even more happening under that bumpy green skin." Avocados are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that acts like a personal bodyguard for your muscle cells, protecting them from oxidative stress. That's the scientific term for the wear and tear of daily life. Then there's the fiber. A single medium avocado can pack around 10 grams of glorious fiber. This isn't just for keeping your digestion regular, which is important in its own right. This fiber also plays a critical role in regulating your blood sugar. For anyone managing diabetes or simply trying to avoid those energy-sapping sugar spikes and crashes, this is huge. Steady blood sugar means steady energy, which is the fuel you need to stay active and engaged all day long. Research from the prestigious American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has backed this up, highlighting that older adults who consumed more of these monounsaturated fats, the exact kind found in avocados, had significantly better mobility and a lower risk of frailty. That's science confirming what people like Clara experience firsthand. The beauty of this foundational habit is its versatility. You can mash it, slice it, blend it. Try mixing it into a smoothie with a handful of spinach and some almond milk for a breakfast that is truly built for strength. Keep it simple and pair it with eggs in the morning. Spoon it onto a chili or a salad for a creamy, satisfying addition. Some even use it to make a decadent, creamy chocolate pudding. Yes, dessert can be part of your strength-building plan. And for those of you carefully watching your health markers, here's the best news. Avocados have zero cholesterol, virtually no sugar, and a wealth of those good fats that help you feel full and satisfied for hours. They are an ideal tool for anyone who wants to stay active without relying on processed energy bars or sugary drinks that ultimately let you down. So, by embracing the avocado, you're not just adopting a food trend, you're adopting a foundational strategy for soothing your body from the inside, protecting your engine from rust, and keeping your muscles functioning beautifully for the long road ahead. Crucial strategy number 4, the ruby red soreness soother. Now that we've laid a smooth anti-inflammatory foundation, let's talk about the day after a good day. You know the one. The day you spent a few extra hours in the garden, or took a longer walk with a friend, or played with the grandkids with a little more gusto than usual. You felt great in the moment, alive and capable, but the next morning, your legs feel like they're filled with cement. Your shoulders ache for no apparent reason, and just getting out of bed feels like a monumental effort. That tired, heavy, sore feeling can be a powerful deterrent, whispering in your ear, "See? You overdid it. Don't do that again." But what if nature had a secret weapon to help you quiet that voice? What if there was a way to help your body bounce back faster, so you could enjoy being active without paying such a heavy price? There is, and it comes in a small, bright red, surprisingly potent fruit, the tart cherry. Now, it's important to make a distinction. We're not talking about the big, sweet Bing cherries you snack on by the handful in July. We're talking about their more sour cousins, like the Montmorency cherry, most often found as a 100% pure juice in dried form or as a concentrate. These ruby-red gems are packed with a class of powerful compounds called anthocyanins. These are what give the cherries their brilliant color, and they are also phenomenal natural antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. Here's the problem they solve so beautifully. When we engage our muscles, especially in ways we're not used to, we create tiny, microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. This is a normal part of the process of getting stronger. The body then rushes in to repair these micro tears, and it's this inflammatory repair process that causes what's known as delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. As we age, our inflammatory response can be a bit overzealous. The cleanup crew gets a little too aggressive, leading to more soreness that lingers for longer. This can create a vicious cycle. You're active, you get sore, you become hesitant to be active again, and your muscles get weaker from the inactivity. To understand how tart cherries break this cycle, let's use a new analogy. Imagine your muscles after a good walk or some yard work are like a busy construction site at the end of the day. There's debris everywhere, scraps of wood, dust, leftover materials. This debris is the inflammation and metabolic waste products from the day's work. Before the real rebuilding can begin, that site needs to be cleaned up. Tart cherries are like the expert elite cleanup crew that comes in overnight. Their anthocyanins work swiftly and efficiently to sweep away the debris of inflammation, reduce the oxidative stress, and clear the site. But they don't just clean up, they also help direct the flow of fresh materials, nutrients, and oxygen to the site. Therefore, when the construction crew, your body's natural repair process, shows up in the morning, they have a clean, organized workspace. The rebuilding process is faster, more efficient, and far less painful. You wake up feeling refreshed and recovered, not punished and depleted. The science on this is truly remarkable. For years, it's been a secret weapon for elite athletes. Several clinical studies have shown that marathon runners and weightlifters who drank tart cherry juice before and after intense exercise experienced significantly less muscle soreness, less strength loss, and a much quicker recovery. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that long-distance runners who consumed tart cherry juice for 7 days before a race reported dramatically less post-run pain. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for marathon runners, but I'm just trying to keep up with my weeding. And that is precisely the point. If it can help people who push their bodies to the absolute limit bounce back, imagine what it can do for the rest of us who are simply trying to stay mobile, independent, and pain-free. Research from Oregon Health and Science University specifically looked at older adults and found that tart cherry juice helped reduce markers of muscle damage and inflammation, even without vigorous exercise. This means if you go for walks, take a gentle yoga class, or spend an afternoon on your feet, tart cherry can be your quiet companion in staying active. It helps your muscles feel better, faster, after any activity, reducing that lingering soreness that so often discourages us from continuing. This is one of those health secrets that can genuinely help you maintain a joyful, active lifestyle. But the benefits of this crucial strategy don't stop with your muscles. Tart cherries are one of nature's richest sources of natural melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. So many of us over 60 struggle with sleep, falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up far too early. A small glass of 100% pure unsweetened tart cherry juice in the evening has been shown in studies to not only increase sleep duration, but also improve sleep quality. And as you know, deep sleep is the prime time for your body's repair shop to be open. It's when your body does its most important work of healing tissues, consolidating memories, and yes, repairing and rebuilding your muscles. My neighbor Paul, a wonderful man of 68, once complained to me that every morning felt like he was trying to walk through wet sand. He just felt stiff, heavy, and unrested. He started a little ritual of drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice about an hour after dinner. Within 2 weeks, he stopped me on my morning walk. "It's the strangest thing," he said with a wide grin. "I'm waking up feeling lighter. The stiffness isn't gone, but it's so much better. It's like I finally gave my body permission to heal at night." And here's another thing to love. Tart cherry is friendly for most dietary needs. The juice, when it's 100% pure and unsweetened, is relatively low on the glycemic index and can often be safely enjoyed in small amounts by those managing blood sugar. Of course, it's always wise to check with your doctor, especially if you have any health concerns. You can also find it in capsule form, or you can sprinkle dried tart cherries on your oatmeal or yogurt if juice isn't your preference. This isn't about eliminating soreness entirely. A little bit of muscle tenderness is a sign that you've challenged your body, and that's a good thing. This is about managing it. It's about turning down the volume on the pain so you can better hear the sweet music of your body getting stronger. It's a crucial strategy for breaking the cycle of fear and inactivity, and for ensuring that every active day is a joy, not a punishment. Eye-opening secret number 3, the Pomegranate Power-Up for muscle endurance. We've talked about protecting our muscles from inflammation and helping them recover from soreness. Now, let's talk about performance. Let's talk about the fuel delivery system that determines whether you have the stamina to finish your walk feeling strong or whether you run out of gas halfway through. Let's talk about a fruit that is as majestic as it is powerful, the pomegranate. Those glistening ruby red seeds, properly called arils, may be tiny, but they pack an incredible punch when it comes to muscle health, circulation, and strength, especially as we age. If you're looking for a natural way to boost your energy, support your body's internal plumbing, and protect your muscles from wear and tear, this eye-opening secret could be your new best friend. The primary problem that pomegranate addresses so elegantly is a decline in circulation and cellular energy production. Let's explore this with an analogy. Think of your entire circulatory system, your arteries, veins, and capillaries, as a vast and intricate irrigation network for the garden of your body. Your muscles are the most demanding plants in that garden, requiring a constant, rich supply of water and nutrients, in this case oxygen and fuel, to thrive. As we age, it's as if the water pressure in that irrigation system naturally begins to decrease. The hoses can become a bit narrower and less flexible. The result? Those plants at the far end of the garden, our hard-working muscles, don't get the robust flow they need. They become fatigued more easily and take longer to recover. This is where the pomegranate works its magic. Pomegranates are loaded with unique and powerful antioxidants, particularly polyphenols like punicalagins, which are found in abundance in the juice and peel. These compounds have a remarkable effect on the body. They naturally boost our production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a fascinating molecule that acts as a vasodilator, which is a fancy way of saying it signals the smooth muscles in your blood vessel walls to relax and widen. So, to continue our analogy, drinking pomegranate juice or eating the arils is like calling in a master plumber for your irrigation system. The nitric oxide boost widens all the hoses and turns up the water pressure. Suddenly, that life-giving flow of oxygen and nutrients can surge through your body, reaching every single muscle fiber with greater ease and efficiency. This means your muscles can perform better and for longer during activity, and they receive the building blocks for repair much faster afterward. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by compelling research. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed pomegranate extract before physical activity experienced significantly better endurance and reported feeling less fatigue. Another research trial showed that pomegranate helped reduce muscle soreness and improve recovery times, benefits that were noticeable even in those who weren't exercising vigorously. That is powerful news for anyone who is simply trying to keep up with daily walks, play a round of golf, or have the energy to complete their chores around the house without feeling wiped out. But the pomegranate's power-up doesn't stop with the plumbing. It also goes to work on the power plants themselves. Inside every one of our muscle cells are tiny organelles called mitochondria. These are the microscopic power plants that convert the food we eat into usable energy, or ATP. The health and efficiency of our mitochondria are directly linked to our strength, stamina, and overall vitality. As we age, our mitochondria can become less efficient and fewer in number. It's like having a city full of old, inefficient power plants that produce a lot of smoke, oxidative stress, for very little electricity, energy. Therefore, the compounds in pomegranates, particularly a molecule that our gut bacteria create from them, called urolithin A, have been shown to support mitochondrial health. They trigger a process called mitophagy, which is essentially the body's quality control system for mitochondria. It helps clear out the old, damaged power plants and encourages the growth of new, vibrant, efficient ones. So, by enjoying pomegranate, you are not only improving the fuel delivery to your muscles, you are upgrading the very engines inside the muscle cells that burn that fuel. The result is more strength, more stamina, and a deeper reserve of energy to enjoy your day. My friend George, a spry 74-year-old who recently rediscovered his passion for gardening, swears by his pomegranate ritual. He told me he drinks a small glass of pure pomegranate juice before he heads outside to work in his yard. "I don't know the science of it," he said, chuckling, "but I can tell you this, I feel more energized, I'm less sore the next day, and I even think I sleep better. It's like my muscles are just happier." He's not imagining it. The anti-inflammatory properties of pomegranate also help to ease that general feeling of stiffness and tightness, making movement feel smoother and more comfortable. And here's something even more exciting. The benefits don't just come from the juice. Eating the whole seeds or arils is a fantastic option. You can sprinkle them over Greek yogurt, toss them into a salad for a burst of color and flavor, or even blend them into smoothies. When you eat the arils, you also get the added benefit of fiber, which helps to slow the absorption of the natural sugars and supports gut health. A word on that. Moderation is key. Pomegranate juice, even when it's 100% pure, is a concentrated source of natural sugars. It's best to stick to a small glass, about 4 to 6 ounces a day, and always choose a brand with no added sugar, or, even better, opt for the whole arils to get the fiber along with all the antioxidant goodness. This eye-opening secret is about more than just temporary energy. It's about fundamentally improving the two core systems your muscles rely on, the delivery of fuel and the ability to convert that fuel into power. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to perform at its best, so you have the endurance and vitality to fully participate in the life you love. Essential key number 2, the overlooked secret in the wrinkled skin. I'm about to mention a fruit, and I want you to be honest with yourself about the very first thought that pops into your head. Ready? The fruit is prunes. If your mind immediately went to digestion, a fiber, or something my grandmother kept in the cupboard, you are not alone. For decades, the humble prune, which is simply a dried plum, has been typecast, relegated to a single, albeit important, role in our health narrative. But this stereotype has caused us to overlook one of the most powerful and unexpected secrets to muscle preservation and even growth as we age. Don't be fooled by their wrinkled skin. Inside, prunes carry some of the most impressive natural compounds for helping your muscles stay firm, strong, and protected from age-related decline. The conflict here is our own perception. We've put this fruit in a box, and in doing so, we're missing its true, profound potential. The problem isn't the prune, it's our limited understanding of it. We've been focused on one chapter of its story, while ignoring the thrilling main plot. So let's open the book to that main plot. We already know that as we age, the balance in our body shifts. The signals that tell our body to break down old tissue can become louder than the signals that tell it to build new tissue. This is especially true for our muscles. We can eat all the protein we want, but if the build signal isn't being heard, that protein won't be used effectively to create new muscle. To understand the prune's essential role, let's use a powerful analogy. Imagine your body's muscle-building process is a major construction project. For years, the common advice has been to simply deliver more bricks, protein, to the construction site, and that's important. You absolutely need bricks. But what if the real problem is that the construction foreman, the one who tells the workers what to do with the bricks, has gotten quiet, old, and has started spending most of his time in the site office? The workers are standing around, The bricks are piling up and not much building is getting done. This is where the unique polyphenols in prunes come in. Scientists have discovered that these compounds may actually help to activate and amplify a crucial hormone called insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. In our analogy, the polyphenols from prunes are like a new, energetic, loud and clear foreman arriving on the construction site. This new foreman, the activated IGF-1, starts shouting orders, organizing the crews, and pointing to the blueprints. Suddenly, those idle workers get to work, and the bricks, protein, are being used to actively repair old structures and build new ones. That is the potential power of prunes. They don't just provide materials, they may help to reignite the very command system for muscle growth. In one promising laboratory study, extracts from prunes were shown to significantly increase the size of muscle cells and boost protein synthesis, the fundamental process of muscle repair and strength building. This means prunes don't just work to slow down muscle loss. They may actively help your body hold on to and even build new strength, even after 60, 70, and beyond. This is a crucial truth for senior vitality. Think about that for a moment. A simple, sweet, shelf-stable snack that you can keep in your pantry might be helping to send a grow signal to your muscles. Therefore, the benefits continue to stack up. Prunes are also one of the richest food sources of a trace mineral called boron. Boron is another unsung hero of our structural health. It plays a key role in both muscle and bone health by helping your body metabolize and use calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively. These are the big three for skeletal and muscular integrity. Boron ensures that these key players are able to do their jobs properly. This is especially critical for mature adults who are often at risk for the dual threat of sarcopenia, muscle loss, and osteoporosis, bone loss. Prunes are a natural strategy for supporting both systems simultaneously. And of course, we can't ignore their famous fiber content, but let's look at it through a new lens. The soluble fiber in prunes does more than just support a healthy digestive system. It's also fantastic for regulating blood sugar and cholesterol. By preventing sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar, prunes provide a source of steady, reliable energy throughout the day. This makes a world of difference when you're trying to stay active or simply complete your daily routines without hitting that wall of fatigue in the afternoon. My Aunt Helen, who is 76 and wonderfully witty, was deeply skeptical when I first suggested she add a few prunes to her daily routine. She laughed and said, "Honey, are you saying I have slow bowels?" I told her to forget about all that and just think of them as muscle food. After a month of dutifully eating 5 prunes with her morning oatmeal, she called me. "You're not going to believe this," she said, "but I feel less achy after my morning walks. It's like I've oiled my hinges." She's a convert. Now she keeps a jar on her counter and swears by them, calling them her little wrinkled powerhouses. Prunes are also incredibly easy to incorporate into your life. You can snack on them straight from the bag. Just 3 to 5 is a great serving size. You can chop them up and add them to oatmeal, yogurt, or even chicken salad for a touch of sweetness. Blend them into a smoothie to add natural sweetness and a fiber boost. They are naturally sweet, but because of their high fiber content and unique sugar profile containing sorbitol, they have a low glycemic index and are generally considered safe in moderation for people managing diabetes. This essential key is about looking past old stereotypes and recognizing the profound, science-backed potential in a humble, everyday food. It's about understanding that building strength isn't just about protein, it's about signaling. And the humble prune may just be one of nature's most effective messengers. Our vital revelation number 1. The muscle-building secret you've been peeling away. We have finally arrived at the top of our list. We've covered creamy guardians, ruby red soothers, pomegranate power-ups, and wrinkled skin wonders. Each one is a powerful tool in its own right. But our number 1 vital revelation is perhaps the most profound of all, precisely because it is hidden in the most familiar, most common, most everyday fruit imaginable, the apple. You've heard the old saying a million times, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." It's a nice rhyme, a piece of folk wisdom we teach our children. But What if that simple phrase contains a literal scientific truth for muscle health that has been overlooked for generations? What if I told you that an apple a day might also help keep muscle loss away? Behind that crisp, satisfying crunch lies a surprisingly powerful combination of nutrients that do more than just satisfy a sweet tooth. They can actively support muscle strength, enhance endurance, and preserve your overall vitality as you age. The conflict, the central problem, is our own familiarity. We think we know the apple. We see it as a simple, healthy snack, a lunchbox staple. Our oversight is that we have been systematically throwing away its most powerful component. The secret isn't in the sweet, juicy flesh, it's in the skin, the peel. That thin, often glossy layer that so many people meticulously remove before eating contains a remarkable natural plant compound called ursolic acid. In recent years, scientists have become fascinated by ursolic acid, and what they've discovered is nothing short of revolutionary for our understanding of muscle aging. To explain its power, let's use our final and most important analogy. Imagine that your muscle cells have two master light switches on the wall. One switch is green, and it's labeled growth. This switch is controlled by hormones like IGF-1, which we talked about with prunes. The other switch is red, and it's labeled stop growth. This red switch is controlled by a protein in our bodies called myostatin. Myostatin's job is literally to put the brakes on muscle growth to keep us from getting too bulky. As we age, a frustrating thing happens. The growth switch tends to get dim and flicker, while the stop growth switch gets stuck in the on position. The brakes are permanently engaged, making it incredibly difficult to build or even maintain muscle, no matter how much protein we eat or how much we exercise. Now imagine ursolic acid from the apple peel is a master electrician who walks into the room. This electrician is incredibly skilled. It doesn't just work on one switch. First, it goes to the green growth switch and helps to clean the contacts and boost the power, making that growth signal brighter and stronger. It appears to enhance the IGF-1 signaling we want. But, and this is the truly game-changing part, it then walks over to that bright red stop growth switch that's stuck on. It doesn't break the switch, but it installs a dimmer. It gently dials down the signal from myostatin. It eases up on the brakes. Do you see the profound impact here? Ursolic acid is working on both sides of the muscle-building equation. It is simultaneously promoting growth signals and reducing the stop signals. It's like taking your foot off the brake and pressing the accelerator at the same time. This creates an environment in your body that is uniquely primed for muscle maintenance and growth. This isn't science fiction. An incredible study published in the prestigious journal Cell Metabolism showed that mice given ursolic acid developed larger, stronger muscles, and even more importantly, were protected from muscle wasting, even when they were sick or fasting, conditions that would normally cause rapid muscle loss. Of course, we are not mice, but the biological pathways are stunningly similar, and early human research is showing incredible promise. This is the cutting edge of nutritional science, and it's found in the peel of the fruit you can buy for less than $1. Therefore, the apple's gifts don't stop there. The peel and the flesh are also rich in another powerful antioxidant called quercetin. Quercetin is a superstar for supporting our mitochondrial health, those tiny power plants in our cells we discussed earlier. It helps protect them from damage and improves their efficiency. When your muscles have stronger, more efficient mitochondria, they function better. They recover faster from activity, and they resist fatigue for much longer. That means you can stay active for longer periods without feeling completely wiped out. And let's not forget the apple's incredible fiber, particularly the soluble fiber called pectin. Pectin is a champion for regulating blood sugar, maintaining excellent gut health, and reducing overall inflammation. A healthy gut means you absorb more of the nutrients from all the healthy food you eat. It ensures that the protein, vitamins, and minerals you consume actually make it to your muscles, where they are so desperately needed. I remember chatting with a gentleman named Mr. David, 79 years young, and still meticulously tending his rose bushes every single morning. He swore by his daily apple ritual. Always with the peel on, he told me with a wink. Keeps me regular, keeps me moving, and my wife says it keeps me young. He thought it was just a healthy habit, but it turns out he was intuitively tapping into some of the most advanced science on aging. So, here is the most practical and vital tip of this entire video. Do not peel your apples. That skin is nutritional gold. It's where the highest concentration of ursolic acid, quercetin, and fiber lives. If you are concerned about pesticides, which is a valid concern, make the small investment in organic apples. Wash them well and enjoy them whole. Slice them and dip them in almond butter. Grate them, skin and all, into your morning oatmeal. It is a simple, daily habit with the potential for massive compounding benefits. And if you're worried about the sugar content, apples are a brilliant choice. Despite their delicious sweetness, their high fiber content gives them a low glycemic index, meaning they won't cause destabilizing spikes in your blood sugar. They are hydrating, low in calories, and incredibly portable. Researchers at the University of Iowa, who have led much of the research on ursolic acid, found that it not only promoted muscle growth in their studies, but also helped reduce fat accumulation and improve glucose tolerance, all critical markers for healthy, vibrant aging. The message is crystal clear. The humble apple is so much more than a snack. It's a daily strategy. And there you have it, our vital revelation number 1. It's not an exotic berry from a faraway land. It's not an expensive powder or a complicated supplement. It's the humble, beautiful, and profoundly powerful apple. Maybe that old saying is truer than we ever imagined. An apple a day with the peel on might just help you hold on to the strength, the power, and the independence that matter most. That crisp bite, that juicy crunch, and it's not just delicious. It's a quiet daily act of rebuilding. So let's bring it all together. 5 fruits, simple, familiar, delicious. Yet as we've discovered, each one, the avocado, the tart cherry, the pomegranate, the prune, and the apple, holds within it a unique and powerful key to unlocking strength. Not just for your muscles, but for your energy, your movement, your independence, and your joy. These aren't exotic superfoods you have to hunt down in specialty stores. They are right there, waiting in your local grocery store, ready to become a part of your daily rhythm of life. Perhaps you've been feeling the changes lately. A little more stiffness in the morning, a little less power in your legs, a moment of hesitation before taking the stairs or lifting a grandchild. That is a shared human experience. But you are not powerless. Nature has provided us with these gentle, effective tools to help us stay strong, not just in our bodies, but in our spirits. And the best part is you don't have to overhaul your entire life. You don't need a complicated new gym routine or a restrictive diet plan. You can start with these quiet daily habits, adding a slice of avocado to your toast, a small glass of tart cherry juice in the evening, a handful of pomegranate seeds on your yogurt, a few prunes with your breakfast, and a crisp unpeeled apple as a snack. Little by little, day by day, these small choices compound. You'll start to feel it. More energy, less soreness, a deeper, more restorative sleep, a growing sense of confidence as you move through your home and your life. This journey isn't about trying to reverse time. It's about honoring the incredible body you have right now and giving it the profound nourishment it needs to thrive for all the years to come. Every apple you bite into, every prune you add to your breakfast, these are small, beautiful choices that whisper, I'm still building, I'm still growing, I am still here, strong and vital. And you deserve to feel that way every single day. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it the foundational habit of the creamy avocado, the crucial strategy of the soreness-soothing tart cherry, the eye-opening secret of the pomegranate, the essential key of the surprising prune, or was it our ultimate game-changing revelation about the power in the apple peel? I would genuinely love to hear from you. Please share your story or your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might be the very thing that inspires someone else to start their own journey to strength today. If you found value and inspiration in our time together, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps other people find this healthy senior community. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. This channel is here for you to bring simple, trustworthy, and uplifting health strategies into your everyday life. Until next time, take wonderful care of yourself, body and soul. You are so much stronger than you think.